Hi everyone, welcome you to another day of the Healthy You Conference, Find Health and Life Balance with Qigong and other techniques. Today we have Dr. Andrea Cleaver, a beautiful student of mine, also in naturopathic medicine for 10 years already. She graduated from the CCNM. CCMM is a Canadian Natural Medicine College, which is the one that can really license ND in North America. So I would want you to welcome Dr. Andrea. Okay, and then the topic today is on woman health. Okay, so I would like to ask you maybe about, so why did you want to become a naturopathic medical doctor?
So that's an interesting question. I was originally trained as a chartered accountant.
Oh yeah, chartered accountant.
Yeah, I was an accountant, and then I just found that
Okay.
I kept reading health magazines.
Oh.
And that's all I wanted to do, so I knew that that's where my passion was.
Oh.
But if you take it back even further, when I was a teenager,
Yes.
my parents had a family friend who was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer.
Uh-huh.
And the doctors told her, there's nothing else we can do for you. She was basically sent home. She was dying.
Oh.
So she went home and she radically changed her diet. She did many, many detoxes. And over time she started to get better. And she actually lived another more than 25 years.
Oh.
And she died in her 80s.
Really?
So
80s?
80s, yeah.
Wow.
So that inspired me. I know that's not possible for everyone.
Yes.
But in her case, it worked, and
Wow.
it shows the potential for natural medicine.
Wow, I love that story. I think it's very excited to hear this story, to live to 80s, and wow, that's really awesome. So while you're switching your profession, right, in the, become a chartered accountant and switching to ND and start studying again. Wow, there's a lot of years, right?
It's a lot of years, but I enjoyed it. It was hard work.
Yeah.
But I knew it's what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So it's very interesting you spend more time on a woman, taking care of women's health too.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a lot of my clients are women anywhere from their 20s to, it goes up, but I would say mostly 30s to 50s. And so that's, that's where my interest is as well.
This is really exciting.
Mm-hmm.
So we've met because of Qigong, really. So
That's
we
right.
can see that she's a little bit different. She also brought her mother here to learn Qigong. And she also learned how to do Qi healing too. It's just amazing. Is that the way you like to move forward to spend a bit more time
Sure, I
learning
would
how
like
to do
to-
energy healing too?
Yeah, I would like to encompass that. It actually makes sense with what I do because I also do a lot of acupuncture, and that also works with Qi. So it's another, it's just another
Natural.
way of doing it, right? An
Yeah.
added way.
Yeah.
So-
So today we're talking about the woman's health, right? So let's rest a minute, and then we will just come back to set. Oh, hi. So now we're getting ready to know more about naturopathic medicine again. So to have a question too. So what's the thing that struggles you a lot while you were searching about naturopathic medicine?
So one of the things I find is people are so stressed. I see a lot of women, they're working, some of them have families, and what they're coming in for, often the stress directly impacts their health concerns.
Oh.
So sometimes figuring out, how to treat someone who's got this ever-present stress. And what I've learned over time is you can have the best treatment plan that covers so many of their health concerns, but if you give it to them and they feel overwhelmed and it's adding to their stress, then it's not really serving them. So it's really about, what I do is I really communicate with them, find out what they're on board doing, how much change can they make.
So on the personal level, you mean? The whole stuff.
Lifestyle, whatever it is that we're doing in terms of diet, in terms of even, you know, supplements and herbs, and what can they take on? You know, what is not going to make them too stressed? What do they think they can be compliant with?
Oh, so what about the personal life? Maybe they have a bad relationship, which is part of the most stress or something, right? So do you help them a little bit on that personal level?
The benefit of or what I find is really great about what we do is we have so much time. We spend so much time with individuals because the first appointment can be 60 to 90 minutes. So you take a really good medical history, and then after that you can spend anywhere from 30 to 45 minutes per session. So if they do have those emotional or, you know, whatever concerns they have, they can bring them up. You know, if they feel it's a safe space and they want to discuss it, then
you see, when you talk about your problems, you already have less stress, right? Someone's listening to you, right?
Right.
So I know naturopathic medicine is covered by most insurance too, right?
That's right.
And then after naturopathic medicine is legalized in Canada, so what's something that you can do more now than before?
Okay, so it's regulated, and what we can do are order certain lab tests, blood work, that sort of thing. And if you've done a prescribing exam, which I have done, then you can also prescribe some bioidentical hormones. And certain things like vitamin D over a certain level, vitamin A, that type of thing, that is considered a prescription.
I actually had a little conversation with Andrea earlier about the lab test or something, and then she was telling me that so she can order a very complete lab test, for example, for the thyroid, which would be something that is not costing a lot of money really. It's a really small amount of money, but because the thing is she's trying to help you in different ways, so a special lab test will be ordered just very quickly, right?
So yes, you can get a thyroid panel, for instance, done if that's a concern of yours, and I can write out the requisition. You can go to the lab and have it done. Now this is, you would have to likely pay for this out of pocket, but it tends to be not too much money.
Well, if you're Canadian, what I actually do is that you go to the MD, you know, so you get it done, so some maybe cover things more, and then later on then you bring a report to the ND, right? So anyways, it all works or something. So I guess there are many reasons that people should be seeing ND now, right?
Yeah, there are quite a few reasons. For instance, nowadays everyone gets bombarded with supplements. So somebody says, "Oh, I'm taking this for, you know, this condition," and then you go to a health food store and they take things off the shelf and say, "Why don't you try this for insomnia?" And you end up maybe after a while with a shelf full of supplements, but you don't actually know what's working. So really? What I try to do is find the fewest amount of supplements that are best for you. And that'll change over time, but it's just so that you're not spending your money on so many different nutraceuticals.
So you also do acupuncture. I see that there's an acupuncture model here, right?
Right. Yeah. So acupuncture is one of the modalities. We also do herbs and, like I said, supplements, nutrition, Asian medicine, and homeopathy. But I do a lot of acupuncture.
Oh, by the way, we also having a person that's going to talk about hair mineral analysis. So do you help to interpretate the
Sure,
analysis
I look at
too?
the results. I look at the results, and then we can work out what's happening in the body based on the hair mineral analysis.
And then, so then, I mean, what is that there's a lot of things that we can learn through this conference, right? And the videos will be on the YouTube. So whether you watch Dr. Andrea video first, but there's another one there also for the hair, and then we also at the school we also help people to connect each other,
Right.
To connect with the report, and then get it done, and then have someone professionally to explain what you can do, knowing what you are not so good in certain levels, you know, in terms of minerals.
Right, and that's something that I do a lot of too, is look at blood work. Or lab work, any kind. And someone might say, well, you know, my blood work is all normal, so I don't really need help with it. but there's a difference between normal and optimal. So for instance, you can have iron. Your iron can be a normal level, but it may not be, if you had it a little bit higher, you would feel better. Or your thyroid hormone might be normal level, but actually, particularly in fertility, you would need it to be a little bit lower. And so I can help with that, and that may help your chances of having a child.
Exactly, amazing. Yeah. So there are many reasons we see a naturopathic doctor, eh?
Right.
Okay,
yeah.
Awesome. So what we do is she's gonna show us a bit about this acupuncture model. So what are you gonna show us?
So
right?
I brought this in. I thought it was a good visual because it really shows you. All these are acupuncture points, the little dots on them. So you see that there are acupuncture points throughout the body. And they run along the meridians. So there are 12 primary meridians, which are channels. And the chi is believed to flow along these meridians. And there's about, over 350 points just on those meridians. And you use the acupuncture needles really to, if there's a deficiency, if there's not enough chi, then it could bring more chi to the area. Or if there's too much chi, then it helps disperse it. Mm. And people ask sometimes, well, why are you putting a needle in my hand if I've got a headache? Or why are you I've got abdominal issues, why are you putting needles in my leg? So it's just because it affects the whole meridian, so sometimes you choose points on the extremities, and then that has an impact somewhere else. Right?
That's funny.
Yeah, so it's very interesting
so
that way.
When we practice the Qigong, we're moving the Qi and then it covers all the meridians, so they work hand in hand with acupuncture too. So we always encourage people to do a few modalities, it's not really just one and not do the other one because they're all useful. That's why we have a conference, to bring different knowledge to the audience. So.
Yeah. And people worry about, is acupuncture painful? That's one of the questions. So I brought a needle. Hopefully you'll be able to see this. I'll take it out so you can see it.
So it's very small and tiny, really.
They're about the size of 2 human hairs.
Yeah.
So it's just so they're flexible. I don't know if you can see it like that. And it's nothing like the needle you would get for blood work. It's completely different. Yeah. Some areas of the body are a little more sensitive, but overall it's quite comfortable. And you can be quite relaxed during the acupuncture session. Another thing that because I'm talking about women's health, and it actually has a lot of benefit for women. So gynecological issues like irregular periods, hot flashes, night sweats, if you want to induce labor, if you're post-date for your pregnancy, and also if you're early pregnancy, it can be beneficial.
Wow, I'm gonna have to ask you to put some needles on me to see how it works too later, right? So, awesome.
And I just wanted to demonstrate 2 points for people just so that they can do on themselves using acupressure. So instead of a needle, you just use your fingers. So one of them is just here, which is large intestine 4, and if you press that for 3 to 10 minutes, it can help relieve a headache. And there's another point 2 thumb widths below the wrist, and that's good if you have nausea or motion sickness, seasickness, that sort of thing. But the first point you wouldn't use in pregnancy, whereas the second point, it's okay.
Well, the knowledge is just enormous, and but it could be easier if you just start doing a little bit at a time, right? So, so is there something else you want to share? Because you have so many probably interesting stories about how your clients get better. Is there something that come out?
Like a story about
about a client that you treated?
Sure. So I was treating a woman who had urinary tract infections, just chronic. They kept coming back, and they were tested using urine, and you can see that there's an infection there. And I used acupuncture, quite a bit of acupuncture, using points on the front and the back. And after several weeks, it started to go away. The infections.
She goes she goes to you like once a week or twice a week?
Once a week,
Okay.
for a period of time.
Uh-huh.
And we did fairly intense sessions, like they were about an hour
Oh,
long
okay.
in those cases. And but it went away, and she hasn't had them since the last time I was in contact with her. Wasn't that long ago, and it has been gone for several years.
Well,
So-
why is it not going away, right? In your based on your knowledge, why is it not getting out? I mean, how the body is not able to recover, right? While it always have it, right?
No, she's recovered.
I
from
know
it,
you
yeah.
have helped them recover,
Right.
but before they could not recover, what would
It
you
could be a
think
lot
might
of things. It could be a lot of things. It could be, the body could have been stressed over a long time. It could have been. There's so many reasons why.
Okay.
And this person was over 50, so over time things just accumulate,
Yeah,
and sometimes you just need to rebalance the body.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So may I ask you why did you like doing Qigong too, right? That's how we met.
That's right. I find it fascinating how you can direct energy, not just with needles, but also just using your hands. And it's amazing how, when I've had sessions done on myself, so I know that there's a difference. There's a difference from before to after. So you do feel better. And I think anybody can learn it. That's also very interesting,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, it's really just appreciative too for me to have all kinds of professional medical people coming in to learn Qigong too. And then there's some people like her that she also bring her knowledge back to the school. That's really wonderful. So is there anything like you want to add before we close for the interview today?
I did have one more demo
Yeah,
about a
awesome.
herb.
Please.
Yeah, if you don't mind. So
Okay.
I actually brought this, and I wanted to talk about nettle, stinging
okay.
nettle, because it's a
Good.
herb that I use a lot of.
Oh.
This is something that you can get quite easily.
Nettle.
Nettle, stinging nettle.
Oh, how do you spell that?
Nettle.
Nettle. Okay.
Right. It's called stinging nettle, but when it's dried like this, it has no sting.
Oh, okay.
So you can use it for the urinary tract. It's highly nutritious.
Oh,
They used it in Ireland during the famine.
okay.
They used it when they didn't have a lot of food. It was one of the ways to keep themselves
So you
relatively
just make a
healthy.
tea from it?
You make a tea.
Oh,
So
okay.
you take about this is about 1 liter. So you have about this much herb. You pour boiling water on it.
Uh-huh.
You let it sit for 4 to 5 hours or overnight.
Uh-huh.
Then you strain it.
Oh,
And so this
then
is what it looks like
Oh, and then
after.
you just keep drinking it
Then
now
you
and
just
then?
keep drinking it. You put it in the fridge when you're done, and it's
So
looks like that.
so when you feel you need to use it, then you make them.
That's right. Yeah.
And okay.
Yeah,
that's-
and it's very rich in iron, calcium,
Oh.
sort of thing. So it's really beneficial.
So it's when you feel you need to help the urinary tract, then you
you
take
could
it?
use it for that.
Or just
yeah.
for general health?
General health, even
okay.
somewhat with adrenal fatigue, you could
Okay.
use it.
Okay.
The nettle seeds are good for that too.
Okay.
But it's just a really good herb.
Oh,
It's
really?
got so much in it. Yeah.
Wow, I'm gonna have to try it after the interview. That's great.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So, is there anything you feel significant that you like to offer to?
I think one of the things that I tell people is when you're trying to make changes in your life, do 5 minutes. If you feel stressed, you can always add 5 minutes of something during your day, whether it's exercise or breathing techniques or mindfulness or Qigong, for instance, and just be consistent with it, because that's how you get the change. So keep it, you don't have to take on too much, because people tend to be so overwhelmed already with their lifestyles.
Okay, that makes sense. Add a little bit instead of adding nothing, right?
And
Okay.
then you can increase. So
Good.
once you get the 5 minutes, you can
And then-
increase it to
exactly.
10 minutes, and
Mhm.
but it's you can't really make an excuse for not doing 5 minutes a day.
Oh,
Right.
well, I mean, just one step at a time and
That's right.
increase, right? That's
Yeah.
a good
Yeah.
tips, yeah.
And the other thing I would say is when you're thinking of your body, there's the analogy of a glass being half empty or half full.
Yeah.
So there's a tendency to focus on those areas of your body that don't feel well. And what I suggest to people is try to pay attention to what's working. You know, where do you feel well? Where's the joy in your life? Obviously, if you have significant discomfort, that's hard to do. But otherwise, you can try to just become a little more self-aware of where you're feeling well.
Yeah,
And that goes a long way.
It's a bit like more grateful what you have, right?
That's right. And because both are there, right?
Yeah.
As much as there's discomfort, there is some comfort. And it's just what you...
This is actually very good because as you keep thinking about the positive intention, so you are bringing you know, that energy to you, right? So when your mind is all on all the difficult emotions, then you bring that energy to yourself too. So shifting the thoughts, right, is
right.
something we talk about in my Unlocking Your Happiness Within to work. So awesome, great.
And it's a
great
simple
idea.
thing. It's a simple thing to do.
It's important.
Yeah, I think so.
Small little,
Yeah.
you know, sometimes all those small little things
Mm-hmm.
that adds up, right?
Right.
And
Yeah.
there's only so much you can do sometimes. So at least you can do one thing.
Yeah.
And then just think about what you can do for yourself. Within 5 minutes, what can you do for yourself?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And just be kind to yourself. Sometimes we have good days and bad days, and you just, you know, if you've had a day that was more difficult, just start again the next day.
I know
Start
you
fresh.
also have young children.
Sure. Life is busy, and you know, the idea of perfection doesn't exist.
Exactly.
Right? You just try to do the best that you can.
Exactly. And then you also have great relationship with your mother. I can,
Yes.
you know, that's
Yes,
wonderful
very much so.
too.
Yeah.
So, okay, great. So thank you so much for coming here today.
Thank you, Master Teresa.
Okay, great. So, so we will thank the audience for listening to it too. And then we will have to find out one more thing. Where do we find you then?
Okay, so I've got a website, and the website is www.andreacleaver.com.
Mm-hmm.
So that has my information and a little bit about myself, and also where I practice.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
we are also inviting Andrea to offer her practice in the school, and then check her. She might be on our website too later. So thank you very much, and bye for now.
Thank you.